All right, guys, welcome back to Rome Reviews. I'm Rome, and this is the Honor Magic V5. And I've had this phone roughly about 5 to 6 months now, and I think I've had it long enough to finally do a full long-term review of it. Of course, we'll revisit it in about a year or so, but for now, let's do the 6 months, all right? Let's get to it. All right, so first things first, I've done the initial review of this device and talked about the buttons and the layout and the speakers and so on and so forth. Today, we're just going to be talking about how the phone is holding up after such a long time. Well, not such a long time, but 6 months later. So out the gate, everything works smoothly still. No issues, no software clunkiness. Inner screen still is holding up really well, still folding. The crease is a little bit more noticeable now after folding it, opening and closing it a bunch. But it's fine. It's not stopping anything whatsoever. When you're looking at it head straight on and you're consuming content on it, everything is still fine. No issues. Ooh, a new duelist on Rivals. I'm gonna have to check them out in a moment. But anyway, everything is still holding up really well, and the screen is still beautiful. So no issues, no issues. The hinge, let's talk about the hinge a little bit. The hinge, while not as tight as it was when you first get the device, it still holds multiple angles, still feels sturdy when you're opening and closing it. Of course, when it gets to a certain point, it just closes, but no big deal for me because I'm not propping it up at weird angles. Normally, if I have it open, I'm opening it like this and it stays open at that point. So no issues there. The hinge still feels firm, really firm. So no issues. Speakers, Honor really did something special with their speakers on their devices. They are incredible, even on this foldable being as thin as it is. The speakers are holding up really well, still sound crisp and clear. Yeah, no issues. My only issue with Honor at all for their devices is haptics. I talked about it on the Honor Magic 8 Pro. I talked about it on the Honor Magic 7 RSR, and it's still present on the Honor Magic V5. The haptics are extremely weak on those devices. I don't know what that decision is around that, but they are weak. So just be aware. But the software itself, even with this one being the Chinese version, I do have the global version of the Honor Magic 8 Pro, and the software holds up really well on there. But on here, even with this one being a Chinese version of the software, it still has more mostly usable features here. Of course, the native AI on device is not usable here outside of China, but you could always install Gemini, and I have a bunch of videos on how to get stuff to flow more. I got the circle to search. I got the getting Gemini to work and it just talks or whatever. I got a bunch of videos about how to get Chinese phones. I used the Vivo X200 as the test for that, but I've used it on multiple devices and those features still work there. But anyway, back to this video. I think they call it the Magic Capsule on here, works really well. Yeah, I just think it has the most feature-packed, accessible features outside of China. Let's say that. So most accessible features outside of China. And yeah, they call it Magic Capsule on here. And you get notifications up there. You get your music player and make sure the volume's turned down so I don't get a DMCA strike. And let's just play some music. And let's swipe out of there and you see it goes up there and you get, it's packed. It gives you more access to features even with this being the Chinese version. So if you're in the market and you don't want to spend that extra $200 or more for the global version, $200 to $300 more, this is perfectly fine. It works extremely well. I haven't noticed any issues with notifications or anything like that. Everything really works well. So the device is holding up really well. But what we're going to get into is battery. And My main gripe with Honor and the way that they show their information, it doesn't keep information from the previous day as far as like screen time and stuff like that. It just kind of starts anew, which I don't necessarily care about. Like this one's still showing. So this one looks like it's more of a 12-hour window as opposed to just day to day, which I guess. But long story short, the battery is still holding up really well, especially since, let me go to the about section. With this being a 5820 milliamp hour battery, it's larger than some of the other foldables out there. The battery holds up real well. I get a day of usage, day and a half usage out of this battery. So it's holding up incredibly well. The design, I thought it was a little too flashy for me initially, but I really love what Honor has done with this device. So, I mean, everything still looks really nice. It's held up really well. It hasn't scratched because I do rock this phone without a case. I have been putting a case on it lately just because I was sent the free case, but we'll get into that in a moment. But the phone itself is holding up really well. I still have my screen protector on there, and you notice that, I mean, you may see it on camera, but I do have a little bubble there. I don't know how that happened. But I'm sure that I probably lifted the screen protector at some point, just throwing it in and out of my pocket, throwing it in bags and stuff. This phone is extremely sturdy and well built. I mean, the frame itself has no scratches on it. And like I said, I'll put this phone through the ringer. I mean, I'm not throwing it in rocks and stuff like that, but I do throw it in bags from time to time. I throw it on the seat next to me, and I have no idea what's in it. Sometimes I forget what's in the seat next to me sometimes. And yeah, so the phone is just holding up really well, very well designed. Good job, Honor, on that. So with all of that being said, I do want to kind of transition over into today's sponsor for this video. Tudia, they sent me this really nice case. And only thing they said was, we just want you to review it. Just give us your honest opinion of it. And here we are. So I'm going to be doing that. So first things first, with this case, they do include like the little strips in here. So you can, because everybody knows with these foldables, you get this little flimsy hinge, this little flimsy side right here on foldables, and it just moves and moves. You could take this little blue strip out. I haven't done it because, like I said, I typically like to run my phones with nothing on them. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and peel it and put it on there at some point. But just for the sake of this video, just wanted you guys to see that they do include those. You just peel those off and this thing sticks on there and it doesn't move really well. I mean, I've used it with other cases. I had to buy my own double-sided tape to put them on there, but this one is included. So you just peel it off, put it on your phone, works brilliantly. The case itself, let's talk about that. So the case itself, while it does feel like it protects the phone, it still manages to keep this really slim profile. So it doesn't make your phone feel extremely thick with the case on there, which I really thoroughly enjoy. And then it has these dips around where people typically swipe in to go back if they're using gestures to go back on their screen. To go back on their screen. And they even have a dip at the bottom of the case. Hope this is showing up well for you guys. But I mean, it's really well thought out. I mean, good job. Kudos to Tudia. The only shortcomings I'm going to say about this case is, and I'm just pointing it out because I noticed it, it's not a big deal. It's not actually blocking the port per se, but on the top, there is a slight alignment issue with the mark. I think that's the IR blaster, but either way, there's a slight alignment issue there. And it's the same on the bottom. It has a slight alignment issue. But overall, the case is really well built. I mean, they had like these little nice touches on there. Little grooves. Just makes the phone feel like really slip proof. So, not slippery at all. Just really well built. So kudos to Tudia. Really appreciate you guys sending me a free case of review and no requirements around it. So I like that freedom. So kudos. Good job. So back to the video. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Overall, 6 months later, This phone, still, so good. So good. So yeah, Honor did an incredible job with this device, from the cameras, and I'll show you guys a few photos. I've done it already with the Honor Magic V5 in my earlier review, but I'll show you a few photos and let you guys see that for yourselves. But overall, Honor, I see this device no issue lasting a really long time. If anything changes, I will come back and review that and cover it. Just so you guys are aware, but nothing has changed. This thing is still holding up really well. Like I said, I slam this thing around, throw it around, and I mean, it's sturdy. It's a little it's a little beast. So yeah, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.